So Superman is gay now. At least that's what every single clickbait news article headline would have you believe. Superman's not actually gay. It's his son, Jon Kent, who is bisexual now, or being revealed as bisexual in issue number 5 of Superman, Son of Kal-El. The reason they're saying Superman's gay is obviously clickbait, but also because actual Superman, Clark Kent, is going off to Warworld to fight Mongol and free some slaves, and in the meantime, he's passing the mantle of Superman off to his son, Jonathan Kent. So that gave every single news outlet the license to do complete clickbait and be like, Superman's gay. I saw that all over when this was announced. But yeah, so this series, Superman Son of Kal-El, I talked about it a couple weeks ago, talking about how terrible it is. This was before there was anything revealed about Jon's sexual orientation. This series is terrible. It's awful. Tom Taylor does not understand Superman or Jon Kent at all. It's really bad. And you can watch that video if you want. I'll have it, like, I don't remember, right or left side of the screen. You'll see it pop up. But yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on the series. Anyways, Jon being bisexual himself, I don't really care about. Like, that doesn't really matter to me because Jon's like a newer character. It's not like some established character that's been around for like 30 years or something, and they've always been like into women or something, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's revealed now that they like dudes as well. It's like, it's not like that. So I don't have a problem with it because he's a newer character that hasn't really had any romantic interest. Like, there's one girl that he kind of had a little bit of thing with in like Rebirth, where it's kind of like schoolgirl type like girl next door type crush thing a little bit, but other than that, that's it. And he was a little kid, so I don't really mind the whole him being bisexual. Like, that part doesn't bother me. What bothers me is how fast we got here, and the fact that Jon doesn't need a like a relationship, in my opinion, right now. Like, I don't think every character needs to be with someone, especially like when Jon's 17, and how fast we got here again, because Jon was born, then they had him as like 5-6 years old in the road to Rebirth, and they got him to where they really wanted him to be, which is like 11 years old, so he could be at Super Sons and everything. And then they aged him up to, well, Bendis aged him up to 17 years old, and now he's getting railed by some dude with pink hair. So yeah, we got here kind of fast. And you may be asking, why did they do this? Well, what was the thought process behind it? Well, a comic book that sucks does something controversial to boost sales and get promoted by the media. Like, oh no, this is something terribly new for comics. Never seen this done before. Yeah, it's been happening since Death of Superman. Since Death of Superman, when the comic industry learned you can do absurd things to get on the news, they've been doing it. Like, Tom Taylor got interviewed by CNN. You know what doesn't get you interviewed on CNN? Writing a good comic book. Never has it been like, oh man, this guy wrote an amazing Superman story. Like, Tomasi wrote a fantastic run on Superman. Never once was CNN was like, man, this is a great story that he's writing here. Like, all of these issues are so good, we should interview Peter Tomasi. No, that doesn't get you on CNN. You know what does? Doing something controversial, like making Superman's son bisexual, or, as you can say now since he's Superman, making Superman gay, which gets you a lot more clicks. And so, yeah, that's obviously why he did it. I don't think Tom Taylor really cares as much as he's making it seem in the interviews. In the interviews, Tom Taylor sees himself as the savior of gay people everywhere. Like, you can watch, he posted like a 2.5-minute clip on his Twitter of his interview with CNN, and on it he's kind of just patting himself on the back, talking about how all these people have messaged him, talking about how much what he did means to them, and how they can finally see themselves as Superman. And that part I never really got. It's so weird to me that one single aspect holds you back from enjoying a character or seeing yourself in a character. Like, for instance, Superman is my favorite superhero, but I'm not an immigrant. I'm not adopted. I never lived on a farm. I haven't banged any hot reporters. There's a lot with Superman that I don't have in common, but there are things I do have in common with Superman, and I still enjoy the character a lot, and there are things I see in Superman and myself, and I enjoy the character a lot. But again, there's other people where it's like, oh man, Superman, don't really care about him. Wow, bisexual? Oh, suddenly he's the best character ever, and I can look up to him, and he means something. It's like, that's what was holding you back? Like, I could understand if you like the character and you like them more when, like, their sexual orientation changed. I guess I could kind of understand that. But there are people that are legitimately never cared about Superman or Jon Kent or anything, and now are like, now I'm interested. And it's like, it's weird. Like, you'll see this too. This happens when, like, with other characters, when their, like, sexuality or ethnicity is changed. It's like that like, something as benign as that is what was holding you back from enjoying this character. even though nothing else changed. That's kind of weird. Although with Jon, a lot's changed because Tom Taylor's not get Jon, and his character's completely different to how he's written by Tomasi. He's awful in Taylor's run. He's like this spoiled brat with just sort of dictator vibes. Like, if you do something Jon Kent does not agree with, you're getting a visit from Superman. Like, it's rough. But yeah, so let's talk about this interview. He did a bunch of interviews. I'm going to be mentioning the IGN interview here. So let's read some snippets from the IGN interview. In this interview, he talks about Jay, who is Jon Kent's love interest. He's the dude with pink hair. He's described as like a hacktivist, which activist. Anyways, here's a snippet from the article. Given Jay's journalistic leanings, there are certainly comparisons to be drawn between this relationship and the classic Lois Lane Clark Kent dynamic. However, Taylor stresses that Jay plays a much different and more proactive role in Superman's world. Jay has his own fight. Taylor says he's obviously an effective journalist and Lois Lane is his hero, but Jay is also a refugee from Gomorrah, so his experience also reflects Clark's. While this has fortunately changed over the years, historically Lois has often fulfilled a damsel role. Jay Nakamura will never be that. He and Jon will tackle many things side by side. What was the most important was making Jay Nakamura formidable in his own right, finding the balance in the relationship so they could be equals rather than having Jay be too reliant on Jon. This is why Jay's own powers are revealed in issue number 4, and we learn he can't be harmed. That means of everyone in Jon's life, Jay is the only person Jon doesn't need to protect. It means their relationship is an equal one built on mutual support. I don't know about you guys, but that sounded like a lot of Lois Lane slander to me. Like, just reading that sound like Tom Taylor doesn't get Lois Lane, which is no surprise because he doesn't understand Clark or Jon. So he doesn't understand Lois either. What a surprise. But in that is kind of like I don't want Jay to be like Lois at all. I think Jay, like, she's always been a damsel in distress, which, newsflash, she hasn't for a while. Does she get saved by Superman? Yeah, but that's because she, at the end of the day, she is a human being who's a journalist, and that's it. She's not some super-powered hero. She's not Superman. She's not even Batman. She's Lois Lane. She's very important. But if Doomsday comes crashing through Metropolis, she's not going to just stand up and be like, I will take him on. She's going to need Superman. It's so weird that he's like, I don't want someone that needs to be saved. That's why I had Jon fall in love with a man and not a pathetic woman, for I am Tom Taylor. That's the narrative I want to spin here. Just completely like freaking Uno reverse him and be like, so you made Jon bi because you hate women and think they're pathetic and can't defend themselves. Interesting, Mr. Taylor. That's what I would have done if I was the IGN interviewer. Be like, yes, I totally agree. Women are pathetic and can't fend for themselves like Lois Lane. I'm glad you made Jon fall in love with a man. Oh, man. I would have had so much fun if I was the IGN interviewer here. Oh, anyways, getting off track here. Yeah, it seems like he doesn't like Lois Lane, though, from the interview. And again, this doesn't surprise me, considering he doesn't understand any other aspect of Superman. He doesn't understand Lois either. What a surprise. But yeah, there's not much else to say here other than, as far as Jon being bisexual, I don't really care. That aspect does not matter to me. I don't like that Jon has a love interest already. Like, I don't think he needs one, especially because he's just now technically coming into his own as Superman. Like, he just got the Superman mantle, so now they're throwing a love interest in as well. It's like, let him, meld more into being Superman first to do a love interest down the line. Like, I wouldn't want him to be with a man or a woman right now. I don't care who it is. Just maybe focus more on Jon instead of throwing another character onto the pile. Like, especially because from the little bit I've read of Jay, he's not a very interesting character, and now they're going to make him unharmable. It was like what he said or something. Yeah, he can't be harmed was the verbiage, whatever, in the article. So he can't be harmed. So I don't know. They're doing a lot of things to make him not interesting. Like, Lois is a legitimately interesting character. But yeah, I don't really have a pat on with the bisexual part. It just seems like this was kind of forced by Tom Taylor to give himself a pat on the back and be like, look how good I am. And also, it very much feels like Tom Taylor is someone at DC wanted to make Superman gay, but they obviously can't because of the backlash and everything and the iconicness of Superman and Lois. Like, they can't do that. So they did the next best thing. They made his son Superman and then made him bisexual. So that was sort of their fix to be like, how do we make Superman gay? This is what we can do. That's what it feels like. And then you have all these media outlets capitalizing on that by titling their article Superman's gay. So you have all these people that know nothing about comics and don't read comics or anything that see Superman's gay. They're like, how dare they do that? And then you have the media outlets like, wow, that's a lot of people being very upset about this. It's like, it's almost like you anger them on purpose so they'll click on your headline. It's almost like you did that on purpose. Who would have thought? But yeah, again, don't really care too much about him being bisexual, but Tom Taylor is not right for Superman. Like, I've enjoyed some of his other stuff, like most of his Nightwing runs started off good, and then there's been some, but it's pretty good for the most part. I enjoy his Nightwing run. Deceased is really good. Like, he's done some good stuff, but this series is terrible. Obviously, a lot of his stuff at Marvel was terrible, like that X-Men run was it X-Men Red or whatever, awful. But he's done some good stuff at DC, but his Superman Son of Kal-El is terrible. And yeah, I said I was dropping the book before, and I did, and this isn't going to make me pick it up. But yeah, anyways, Fandom is this weekend, DC Fandom. That's where they're going to be revealing a bunch of new DC stuff, like the new Batman trailer. So I'm going to be streaming that this Saturday, October 16th, I believe it is, at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will be live. So if you want to see that, make sure you show up. Make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so that we get notified when I go live. You can also follow me on Twitter and join my Discord with both linked in the description down below, because on there I will also send out notifications for when I go live. But yeah, I think that's about it. I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think about this whole revelation that Jon's bisexual? And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.